You put pressure on yourself, and some of that will come from your teammates, the fans, your coach, family, your spouse. But ultimately, it's you because you choose what to think. You've got an attitude of who to listen to, who not to listen to. Are you listening to everybody and everybody and letting it all sink in? If you've already got fears and anxieties, this just exacerbates the pressure. So the pressure builds and builds and builds. And then if you're getting better or your team's getting better, then you're in stiffer competition. You go further in competitions and then you're meeting stiffer competition. So there's more pressure with that. So you've got to respect the pressure. It's sometimes you'll feel like an imposter, and it's normal to put pressure on yourself because you want to do well and you want to do it all the time. And I heard a great tip the other day. If you're competing at a top level, I heard this as a rule of thirds. I think it was by an Olympian. And what he said was, you're supposed to feel good a third of the time. You're supposed to feel okay a third of the time. And you're supposed to feel not so good a third of the time. So that's the balance there. You're not supposed to feel good all the time, due to the nature of the competition that you're in. And even if you were winning every game and every match, wouldn't that be boring after a while? There'd be no competition. You'd just be too good. Would you not want to have competition so that you actually feel like you've earned something, you've achieved something? So you need that competitiveness. You've got to be aware of it. You've got to respect it. You've got to want it. You've got to crave it, because that's a signpost that you're going in the right direction. So feel that. When you feel the pressure, you'll feel emotions. Feel fear, anxiety, maybe guilt, shame, anger, maybe sadness afterwards, remorse. I'm sure it changes from every athlete to the next. But the real emotions, they're triggered because we're human beings. You've got to realize you're a human being. And I know we can have alter egos, but at the end of the day, we're still humans, underneath it all. So we're still very, very human. And we've got to block that out for 90 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever sport you're in. So it's not like you have to block it out, but you've got to let your passion take over, your desire, your drive, your motivation, your inspiration. And you've got to get that out there. So it's kind of shifting the dynamic of the emotions. So before the event, you've got to change your state as much as possible. Because I know, like in boxing, it's not actually when the bell goes the person's afraid. It's before that. And that's okay too. Mike Tyson felt afraid before his fights. Who would have thought? So it's okay to feel it on the build up, but try and do things to change your state on the build up. So fear is your friend. We've talked about this before. Fear is your friend. Embrace it, recognize it. There's a time to channel it. Then during the event, get into a flow state. If you're supremely focused on what you're doing, the artistry, the science, there's no distractions, there's no thoughts, there's no limiting beliefs, there's no fears, there's no judgment. Afterwards, unpack it afterwards. Give yourself 24 hours to unpack. Break it down, the thoughts, the judgments, all the emotions. fears, the mistakes. Of course, you're going to make mistakes, but you've got to embrace. Also embrace. So once you unpack it, and then you draw a line under it. That's it. Done. Move on. What have I learned from this? So there's no such thing as failure. If there is, all that is giving up. So if you're actually living your passion in sports, if you're living your passion, you're playing your passion, your dreams, your desires, you're living it out, and nothing can stop. Why would you give up? You wouldn't give up. So if you don't give up, you can't fail. Keep going, keep learning. Mistakes are fine because you learn from mistakes. So you've got to adopt this attitude, not giving up, but you've got to create that awareness. Where's the pressure coming from? What type of pressure? Is it good? Because I'm growing, I'm getting better, the competition's getting stiffer. Respect it. Respect the awareness. Respect the pressure. Respect the fear. Respect your opponents. Respect your coach. Respect the fans. Respect yourself, your family. Respect all of those, but ultimately it's you out there, and you're the one who needs to focus at the right time. So there's time for judgment, there's a time for unpacking, there's a time for learning, and there's time for being in the zone, in the flow state. Supremely focused, and let the world see your true talents, abilities out there on the stage. Give the fans something to shout about, something to move to the next week for. They can talk about it in their jobs during the week, something to keep them going. You know, you being at your best is your gift to people watching you. It's your gift to your teammates, your coach, yourself, your family, and all those people that are paying their hard-earned money to watch. And even if you're not professional, it doesn't matter. The same applies. You mightn't have as much people watching you, or you mightn't be earning the money. It doesn't matter. It's still your. This is still your. It's still your dream. It's still a reason that you get up and go. And you practice and you put the hard work in. Day in, day out. So what are you getting out of it? You're putting the input in. What are you getting out? What's the output? Okay, there's no point in just keeping putting things in. You gotta get something out. So get perspective. Think about your attitude. And create that awareness around pressure. So hopefully you understand pressure a little bit more. Please support me. Please hit the subscribe. Please like. Even comment below whether you agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. Let's get some dialogue going. I'm Robert Anderson. Thanks for watching. There's another video coming up here. I would love you to watch.